We are continuing our countdown of the top 20 Mets prospects. Let's do it. And well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watu-K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So this is our second edition of the top 20 countdown of Mets prospects. We've already put up the first video, which is numbers 20 through 11. You can find that in the history. I've also got it saved under the playlist under Mets and under Mets prospect profiles, so you can all find that. So this will be episode 2 of 3. This is prospects numbers 10 through 6, and then on episode 3 we will do the top 5. So let's get started with counting down the top 10 Mets prospects. So number 10 for me is going to be a pitcher that a lot of people know about and are very excited about. He kind of came out of nowhere in 2023. He's actually ranked 99th overall in the ESPN Top 100 rankings, and it's Christianscott. 6'4", 215 pounds, 24 years old. Now, who is he? Well, the Mets drafted him in the 5th round of the 2021 draft, named the Organizational Pitcher of the Year last season. Now, across the 3 levels of the Mets minor league system, last year Scott finished in AA, had a 2.57 ERA and a whip of just 0.856. In 19 starts with 107 strikeouts and only 12 walks, that in 87 and 2/3 innings of work. Very, very nice numbers. Now, he was originally a reliever, but the Mets transitioned him to a starting pitcher in pro baseball. And after a couple of years, he seems to have found his groove. 93 to 95 mile an hour fastball. Now and then it hits 97 or 98 miles, and he does control the fastball quite well. Very, very important, especially if you're going to make it in the majors. Now, his slider, about 82, 83 miles per hour. He actually says, this is interesting, he actually picked up that slider from watching Max Scherzer pitch. I sincerely hope it was the Washington Max Scherzer and not the Mets Max Scherzer. But that gives him a plus breaking pitch with some depth, and it works very well against right-handed pitchers. Now, he's working on that third pitch, which so many minor leaguers are. He's throwing a changeup, but at this point, he really only throws it against left-handed pitchers. And that's the key. If Christianscott can develop that reliable third pitch, he has a very, very high upside. Worst case, he could be a number 3 or 4 starter. But the fact that he is 24 years old, I've got him ranked a little bit lower than I think some other folks are going to. So I expect him to start the year in Syracuse, but I would be surprised if he doesn't have a couple of starts with the Mets at some point during the year. Well, number 9, I'm going to stay with the starting rotation. This is 3 pitchers in a row here. Number 9 is Bladetidwell, another right-handed starting pitcher, 6'4", 207 pounds, 22 years old. The Mets drafted him back in 2022 with a 2nd-round pick. Now, in his first year of pro ball, he finished out the year with Single A St. Lucie. He made a pair of postseason starts on the club's path to winning the championship. Now, Tidwell can really do a number. He can throw his fastball about 96 miles an hour, and when he's really giving it all, he can hit 99 and also run it a little bit. Okay, but sometimes the fastball does straighten out, and that's when it can get a hit when it doesn't work up in the strike zone. So he's got to keep that ball moving for him to be really, really effective. He's got a full array of secondary pitchers, which are pretty well developed. He's got a slider that hits 87 miles an hour. That is a pretty hard slider. He also has a changeup, which sinks a little bit. And here's what's exciting. That changeup generated the best swing and miss rate of any of his offerings in 2021 and 2022. Batters swung and missed 39% of the time when they saw that changeup. He's also got a curveball to give lefties a different look. That curveball has actually evolved a bit since he went to college. So before it was kind of slurvy, it was more horizontal. Now it's more vertical. it's got some additional velocity, and it's showing more power and bite. Now, the thing with Blade Tidwell and his delivery, it's kind of a violent three-quarters delivery. It's the type of delivery where it doesn't look very smooth. It's a little bit more about the power with him than it is about, the control. And when he isn't hitting his spots and the ball winds up over the plate, he could be a bit home run prone like he was in 2021. Okay, now he's changed his body, which is helping. So he's added 20 pounds to a 6'4" frame since arriving in college. So he is able to go deep into the games. Always a big help. But he does have room, I think, to add more strength. But if the biggest thing with him going from AA and ultimately making to the majors, he has to command his pitches better, and that does include his fastball. I expect him to be in Brooklyn by the second half of 2024. He's probably a few years away from the majors. I would say at least 2 years. I think we could see an appearance from him maybe in late 2025, but I think 2026 is a realistic time frame for Blade Tidwell. Number 8 is going to be Alex Ramirez, the right-handed hitting outfielder, 21 years old, 6'3", 170 pounds. The Mets signed him for over $2 million in 2019, the prize of their 2019 offseason. So he has been moved very aggressively in that time. He went from instructional league play in 2020 to St. Lucie in 2021 as an 18-year-old. Now last year, in 2023, he repeated the Florida State League, batted .284, .359, and .443 in 67 games, and then he finished up with High A Brooklyn. So he had a good year, but it really wasn't as good a year as I think people were really hoping. I don't want to call it a disappointment, but there was more that was expected. But in 2022 and into 2023, he has cut down his strikeout rate quite considerably. So by 2021, his strikeout rate was about 31%. Last year, it was down to 22% while he moved up a level. And that is reinforcing the idea that Ramirez can still hit enough to be an impact player. Okay, now his swing, it's kind of a twitchy move. If you like a good leg kick and a lot of movement, if you like that sort of a thing, then you're going to like his swing because he's got a lot of hand movement, a lot of toe tapping. He may need to simplify it. And I pulled up a quote from Hugh Quattlebaum. He's the Mets director of hitting development. And here's what he said about Ramirez. He's got some unique movements in his swing, but it's probably too early to tell if they're going to be signature movements or things he might have to tweak over time, end quote. So Ramirez also has incredible bat speed, and that's why he's been able to make that aggressive approach work so well. All right, so he can handle premium velocity very well. He's been a little bit susceptible to breaking pitches, especially down and away, but many major league hitters are prone to not doing well against that. So as far as his speed goes, Ramirez can run very, very well. He can be a double-digit stolen base player without much problem. Now, his rate so far is only 56%. That is not so good. That's something he has to learn, how to read pitchers, how to read their movements to home. So he's still that moldable piece of clay in a lot of different ways. And as far as speed goes, he's got above average speed, good size to glide the balls in center field. He's kind of like Carlos Beltran in the field, where you never really thought Beltran was running that hard, but he made a lot of hard plays look easy because of the way he ran. He also has a very, very strong arm. That's his highest rated tool. If he ever has to move to right field, he can make it work. So with Alex Ramirez, I think he's been forgotten about a little bit. The Mets did add him to their 40-man roster, which I'm happy about. I think he starts in Brooklyn, but should make it to Binghamton this year. But he's got to shore up his running game and play discipline a little bit more. So let's see what happens. Hey, Starling Marte is under contract through 2025. Maybe Ramirez would be a perfect fit to take his spot at that time. So that is definitely one of those fringe prospects who has a lot of upside, but a little bit of bust potential. Let's see what happens. Number 7 is Marco Vargas, the middle infielder, acquired along with Ronald Hernandez in the David Robertson trade in 2023. He is 6 foot even, 170 pounds, 18 years old. I'll tell you what, Vargas looked like the gem of Miami's 2022 signing class, signed for just $17,000 out of Mexico when he was still 16 years old. 3 weeks later, he reports to the rookie level, the Dominican Summer League, has 3 multi-hit games in his first 6 contests, batted .319, won team MVP honors, and then this year he was dealt to the Mets. So Vargas Very, very advanced hitter for his age. He knows how to recognize pitches, how to control the strike zone, and use all three fields, how to use left, center, and right. He's got a quick left-handed stroke, a good feel for the barrel, so he's going to hit a lot of line drives. Think a little bit of Jeff McNeil here. All right, he's already got a strong lower half. He's going to have to add a little bit of muscle to his upper body, and the projection is maybe he could hit 15 to 20 home runs once he learns how to pull pitches a little bit more. Now, his speed is, I would say, decent at best, but he's a good instinctive base runner. He's kind of like the opposite of Alex Ramirez in that sense, right? He has good range at second base, a good arm strength too. That's really his best position. He spent a lot of his debut at third base. He made 7 errors in 22 games there, though, compared to just 1 miscue in 23 games combined between second base and shortstop. So Vargas is most likely a second baseman, looking at the future, and maybe the best pure hitter the Mets have in their system. And our final prospect we're going to talk about tonight, number 6 on this ranking, is Colinhouck. This is the shortstop the Mets drafted in 2023 in the first round. 19 years old, 6 feet to 190 pounds. Played baseball at Parkview High School in Georgia last year. Now, why does the high school matter? Well, that high school has produced major league players such as Jeff Francoeur, Jeff Keppinger, Matt Olson. Not too bad. So Houck is sort of the latest in that line. Now, during his senior year, he had a slash line of 487, 589, and 857. 487 batting average, 589 on base, 857 slugging. 8 home runs, 16 stolen bases. He won Player of the Year for the state of Georgia. So what Houck has is a great combination of strength and bat speed that gives him really great power into the gaps. He's already showing this propensity for driving balls into the air to his pull side, but he can hit the ball hard anywhere on the field. His exit velocities are already being marked at over 90 miles an hour, which is absolutely fantastic. So as he continues to fill out, he's probably going to change who he is as a player. But he should be able to tap into his raw power and hit the ball hard to all fields. Now, he can swing and miss a little bit too much than you would like, though now that he is going to focus on baseball, because he was a 3-sport sports star in high school, he's going to get better and better at this. His speed looks to be pretty good. You know, he runs from what I hear the 100-yard dash in about 7 seconds from what I've seen. So he has very good body control and a very strong arm. So there is a confidence he will be a shortstop or third baseman. And either way, though, there is a very, very capable bat. And I think the Mets were very fortunate to get him in the first round last year, considering their draft spot dropped 10 spots. So those are the latest 5 picks on our countdown, numbers 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6. We will be releasing the top 5 a little bit later this week, so be on the lookout for that as well. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate everybody's support. Share the channel with a friend. I love it. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. See you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.